super skill number 10, and we're going to talk about exponential functions. But let's review the other functions that we've talked about. We've done linear. Here's the parent function, y equals x. We've done quadratic, y equals x squared. And now we're doing y equals a to the, in parentheses, b to the power of x. So here's the difference between these. So when you're talking about linear, your x is to the power of 1. When you're talking about quadratic, it's to the power of 2. But when we deal with exponential, now this x is the exponent. That's why it's exponential. That's why we call it exponential. That exponent is x. Okay, so when we're talking about growth or decay, those are the two types we have for exponential. Either we're going to grow exponential, so it's increasing, it's going up, it's getting bigger, or we're decreasing, decay. Those are the only two that we're talking about. So when we talk about that, in this right here, we have this a, that's the y-intercept, and the b is the rate. So when you're growing, that's because your rate is bigger than 1. When it's decaying, that means it's going to be less than 1. Okay? But more than 0. Okay, so that's how we are going to be able to know and look at an equation whether it's growing or decaying. All right, so here are the graphs. Pay attention to how this one from left to right is going up. From left to right, this one's going down. So decay is less. This one's going to be going down, and this one's going to be going up. All right, when we get to a table, the y-intercept, the a, is the one that has the x value as 0. Okay, so right here, my x value is right there, and it's 0. My x value here is also 0, so that would be my a in both of them, the 3, and it would be the 6 in this one. Okay, that's how we do the a, the y-intercept. To do the rate, we divide. We divide y2 by y1, like that. So that would be 24 divided by 12. That gives me 2. And like I said, the y-intercept here is the 3. So my equation would be y equals 3 parentheses 2, because that's the rate. What goes inside the parentheses? The parentheses is always going to have the rate. On this one, the y-intercept here, my a is 6 because that's the one that has 0 for x. My rate, I divide, so 1.5 divided by 3 is 1/2, or 0.5. So my a goes first, the y-intercept, the one that has a 0. The rate goes inside the parentheses to the power of x. So it'd be y equals 6 parentheses 1/2 to the power of x. And I'll show you another way if that is confusing on the back. Okay, so let's look at the back. Let's do some practice. Let's write some equations. So when they give you word problems, what you want to pay attention to are some keywords. Double for growth. Double, that means the rate is 2. Triple, the rate is 3. Half is half, 1/2. Okay, so those are things you're going to have to remember. So we always start with the beginning, your y-intercept, your rate in parentheses, then the x. That's always how we write the equations for exponential. So my beginning, it says that the deer population begins with 4,586. So that's my beginning, that's my initial. My rate, it says triple, and because it says triple, my rate is 3. Here in this one, what do we begin with? 17. So y equals 17. The half-life is 1/2 to the power of x. That's how we write those equations. Now, when you're given a percent, you have to divide that percent by 100, and then you have to, if it's growth, increasing, you add it to number 1. If it's decreasing, you subtract it. Okay, so let's look at this problem. It gives me this percent. I know because it has the percent symbol there. So I divide 5 by 100, and I get 0.05. Now, it says it's a high yield saving, so that's going to be increasing. So I'm going to write y equals, my beginning is 4,500, 1 plus 0.05 to the power of x. It's plus because it's growing. If it was decaying, it would be minus. So I do the same thing here. My a is the beginning, so it begins with 60,000. It's a typo right there, not 6,000. And my percent is 3. So I take 3, I divide it by 100, and I get 0.03. So my equation is what we begin with, the 60,000. And then it's going to be 1, because it depreciates, it's going to be 1 minus 0.03 to the power of x. Okay, let's talk about getting this from a table. You can also use your decimals. Make sure you're using decimal star because that's what you're going to use for the STAAR test. You're going to click the plus, you're going to make the table, and then you're going to type in y1 squiggly a b to the power of x1. So let me show you how to do that on decimals. So again, I'm going to search decimal star. That's going to give me the decimals calculator that I need, and that's what I'm going to use when I take the STAAR test. Okay, that's the other video. Let's make it smaller. Okay. All right, so I click the plus. Remember, you can always pause this video if I'm going too fast. Put the subtitles on at the bottom. Rewatch it. This is for you to learn and to improve. All right, so I type this in. Oops. The hardest part to this is typing it in correctly. Once you can do that, oh no, it disconnected. Oh, how funny. Let's see if I can, okay, that's me. Hi. Okay, there we go. Now we're back. Okay, let's try that again. Don't you just love technology sometimes? Okay, so there goes that. All right, so where was I before I got literally disconnected? Okay, click on the plus, click on the table, 0, 3, and then the 1, and then the 6, 2, and 12, 3, and 24. All right, and then down here, I'm gonna type in y1. The 1 just automatically gets small, like I didn't have to do anything for that. I click on this right here so I can type in the rest of it. I use shift, and it's the one in front of the tab. A, parentheses, B, close parentheses, to the power of x1. Notice I clicked on this A power to B to make that into a small little exponent, okay? And then there I have my A and I have my B. So whenever I write my equation, remember it's y1 squiggly A parentheses B x1. That's what I type into decimals. But what my equation is the A, they just told me it's 3, the B is 2, and then to the power of x. That's how you're going to do that. Okay? Why don't you try the second one now by yourself? So same thing. When you do this, make sure you close out of everything. And let's type it in. Click the plus, click the table, 0, 6, 1, 3, 2, and 1.5. y1 squiggly A to the parentheses B to the power of x. I click this keyboard, I click that button, and then I write x1. And then there's my A and my B. So remember, type it into decimals, make the table, and your calculator can do that for you. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do this by hand, or you can do this using your decimals calculator. And thank you for watching, and come back for more. Bye-bye.